Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a book by Stephen King, actually by Richard Bachman, but we all know that Richard Bachman is just a pen name that Stephen King used to write other books, and this figure, Richard Bachman, remained a mystery for almost 10 years since Stephen King career started, but eventually they found out they were the same person thanks to the copyright that was in one of Richard Bachman book, and that presented the name Stephen King on it. That's how they discovered this mystery. And the books that I want to talk about today is Rage is the first book published by Stephen King under the name Richard Bachman. It was published in the 70s. It's a controversial book because it talks about a teenager that takes hostage his whole class with a gun. So it was before all the shootings at school that happened in United States. So the reason why eventually Stephen King decided to take this book out of the market is because some of the teenagers that did these shootings at school had read this book before. So that's why he decided it was the best thing to let it out of print. And I think it was a good decision. After I read this book, I understand why Stephen King decided without any regret to take it out of the market, because even if the concept of the story might have been interesting, it's really pointless in my opinion. It's not a story that deserved to be read or deserved to stay still on the market. Talks about this guy called Charlie Decker, and one morning he's called to the principal office and they're having a chat, but Charlie is very arrogant, talking to his headmaster, and it was a bit annoying because it was very disrespectful, but you don't really understand the reason why it's like that. It seems like he just wants to be a rebel, and he just wants to fight against the power that there is at school, but there is not really a point in what he's doing. And his motivation for the shooting that happened during the story are really bland. There is not much depth into this story. So this book talks about this guy that takes hostage this whole class and kills a couple of teachers. He doesn't really seem concerned about what he has done, and despite the fact that the author said several times that he has a weak stomach, Charlie doesn't seem to be concerned about the fact that he just killed two people in cold blood. It seems like this is something that happens every day, but it's not like that. That's why this story seems so surreal. This whole concept about the fact that he's taking hostage this class for no apparent reason apart from the fact that they want to take out from themselves something they don't want to show to the other classmates, something that they are embarrassed of, or they feel like a burden that they have to take out to feel better. It's really pointless in my opinion. In a way, this book reminded me of the book The Wave by Todd Strassner. It's like a class experiment, some kind of social experiment that Charlie Decker wants to do with this class. But in The Wave, there was a purpose, because they wanted to teach to these kids how Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich became so popular in Germany, and how they had this kind of influence in people. That's why the story is really good in that book. But in this one, there is no real purpose in what Charlie Decker is doing. In my opinion, is just a teenager asshole that wants to be a rebel and just wants to fight against nothing really, against his own father, because the main trigger that might lead him to behave this way is his father, that is also an asshole. But if you think about it, like, if you read this book and if you didn't, don't waste your time. It's not worth it. It's well written, but it's not excellent, if you know what I mean. But apart from that, the fact that leads Charlie to this is the fact that his father is very harsh with him and is very violent. But if you think about the reason why his father is violent, you can make excuse for him, but at the same time you understand why he became violent, because Charlie seems to have been an asshole since he was like a baby. So you can pretty understand why his father reacted in a certain way for what he has done. Like there is a scene in which Charlie was like 4 years old or 4 or 5 years old, and while his father was like putting all the windows in their house, suddenly Charlie decided, oh, I want to crash all these windows, and he destroyed all of them apart from one. And obviously you understand why his father went crazy. The reaction maybe was too harsh, but you understand why he wanted to punish him. I'm not making excuse for his father. Let's make it clear. Violence is never the answer. But if you think about what his father did and what Charlie is doing, because Charlie is taking lives, you think that the balance is different. And his mother is not really concerned about what is happening. Like, she loves his child, but I think she's too condescending towards him, and that's probably why Charlie thinks that he can do everything he wants, even taking lives. What I didn't like about this book was also that kind of admiration that the classmates had for Charlie, because while they're all in this class and all of them try to take out the thing that they feel most ashamed, they have some kind of admiration for what he's doing, and I think this is really wrong. This is what is wrong about the book, because nothing is admiring on what he's doing. And the fact that just one person, Ted Jones, is the one that rebels against him and that is trying to save the situation, and the classmates are all hating this guy, the fact that Charlie is seen as the hero of the situation, and the classmates are like, go on Charlie, yeah, do like that, yeah, you're doing right, go on, like, kill other people, like, destroy this system. But no, that's not the right way to do things. I know that these were teenagers, but the way they're reacting is so weird. We all been teenagers and we all had rage inside, but no, this is not good. It's not something that people should read. There is no purpose in what he's doing, so there was no purpose in writing this book. It was interesting, the concept. I think what he wanted to do was to have this kind of social experiment where these guys could take out the trash they were hiding inside, but at the same time it didn't work probably as the author wanted. And if this is what he wanted, well, he didn't do a good job in that sense. I think what Stephen King was trying with this book was to introduce a new concept in a story, but this story doesn't work. It was included later in the Bachman books. That is also a book that is out of print in that version. The new printing of the Bachman books doesn't present the story Rage, and that's probably a good thing. I can't really recommend you to read this book. It's not that good. It's pointless, and also the ending, I didn't like it. It doesn't make any sense. So this is all I can tell you about this book. This is the first book that I read by Richard Bachman, and I got not all of them, but most of them, and I want to read the others to see if they're different. The style is a bit different from Stephen King. It is similar. It's almost, you can understand that it's Stephen King, but I think the books written and published under the name Stephen King's are written better than this one. So this is all I can tell you about this book. Got more reviews coming, and I will see you to the next one. Bye.